Hi everyone, Summer here with AstariaSen, and I saw that Cody her channel is tarot readings from a bitch. She did a deck reviewer and watchers questions. There's like 9 questions, and I want to go ahead and do it because I do review decks. I don't generally on this channel specifically review decks. Like I'll put up walkthroughs, but I don't specifically do it on this channel like other people do. So the hashtag is deck reviewer questions, okay? And it's from Cody, and there's 9 questions. And I want to preface by saying that I have been reviewing like books and products and stuff like that for a long time. As an author, way back, I have done book reviews for other authors. I still do book reviews on every single book that I read, pretty much. And I'm fair. I buy most of my own decks. That's just where it is. So just putting that out there up front. So the first question is, what is your tarot experience? So I've been doing tarot for a little over 4 years now. I prefer to read on my own for myself. I do read for friends. I do not read for money. Maybe one day. I don't know. It's not something I'm necessarily called to do for other people. I like including it in my art and in my journaling. And I did take for 2 years, I did tarot, tarot swaps in my community. There was a group in my community with a small like business that did metaphysical stuff, and every once a week or twice a month or something like that, depending on her time frame, she would hold tarot classes, and you would go in and you would learn to read for other people and for yourself. And I did this for 2 years, so I'm comfortable with what I do. The second question is, why do you review decks? Again, I review things. I've reviewed lots of things for many reasons. The decks that I do reviews on are because I enjoy telling people about something I enjoy. I hope that makes sense. Like when I read a book, or when I see a tarot deck, or when I have a product that I really like, I enjoy telling people about it because I like it. That's pretty much the reason I would review. I don't review to tear people down. I don't review to ruin somebody's stuff. I don't. So that's not my reason for reviewing. My reason for reviewing is to tell people something about the product. Now, does that mean I don't give bad reviews? That is not what that means. That it means that if I find a reason to give a bad review, I'll probably give a bad review. But it just depends on what the product is and what's going on. Why, different reasons. I mean, we all have our own perception of things, and we all have reasons for getting certain things. And when I'm doing a review, it's because I want to tell people something about that. That's how most people usually do it, bad or good. That's just how it is, I guess, decks or otherwise. Okay, 3. How did you get into reviewing decks? So again, I've been reviewing products for a long time on my own, but recently, like within the last couple months, US Games did contact me about reviewing decks for them, and I said yes. Now, again, that's not what I do on my channel. I do tarot flip-throughs and oracle flip-throughs on my channel. I don't do reviews on my channel. I actually do the reviews on their website, and they're honest reviews. You can go check them out on whenever you want to. I'll put a link down in the description if you want. And but I just do it on their website. That's the only requirement for me, is to give an honest review on their website, and then I do a flip through, or a little show of the deck on my channel. I would like to preface that I do not consider these free decks. Here's why. I'm not paying money necessarily for the decks that I receive for review specifically. However, I am spending my time that is extremely important to my family, to my off-grid living, to my job, to do a review. So in exchange for my time and for my experience, I guess, or honesty or whatever you want to call it for my opinions. They are paying me with a deck. I consider that payment. I do not consider that free. I consider that with even books I read that somebody has asked me to review that are ARC reviews of books. They are giving me a book for my time, not necessarily money, but it's an exchange of time that is still just as important. Just because I'm not spending money doing it doesn't mean that I'm getting it for free. That's my personal opinion. So I want to put that out there, because that is important to me. My time is valuable and it's worth something. So, what kind of reader are you? So I read intuitively. I really like looking at the pictures and seeing what comes out in the pictures, what comes out together in the pictures. I enjoy, no, don't get me wrong. I do like the book readings, actual little white book, whatever, the little, I can speak today, I promise. I do enjoy learning what a artist might have put on a deck. I like learning why they use those pictures, how they use those pictures, what made them want to use those pictures. I like learning that. And you don't get a lot of that in mass market, but you do in some. You get it a lot more in indie decks. But when I'm reading tarot, I'm reading for a specific reason usually. I'm reading because I'm trying to get inspiration for my art. So I'm definitely looking at the art on the page, or on the card, and trying to coax some inspiration towards me. If I'm reading for myself, it's usually how the cards interact with each other. It's not the keywords necessarily, but is this card looking at that card? What's this card doing, and how does it associate with the other card? I'm a very intuitive reader, and I find that lends well to who I am as a person in general. So that's how I read. I read intuitively. I don't add astrology usually, I do add some numerology, but it's limited, very, very limited. I know 4s are foundation. 7s I consider a fairy number. So those kinds of things come into play for me, but not necessarily numerology specifically. I hope that makes sense. But my own, what I bring to the table is what I end up bringing to the card. So I generally, have a positive spin on a lot of stuff. It doesn't mean that when I'm reading cards or reviewing decks or anything like that, that everything is all positive. It's just that that's what I like to look for. That's what I like to see. That's what I like. That's what I enjoy, even on my channel. I don't like bringing negativity in my life, so I'm not going to. 6. What kinds of decks do you gravitate towards? Fairy decks. Happy decks, fun decks that make me smile, decks that make me laugh, decks that bring that positivity back into my life that I want. It doesn't mean I don't own dark decks, but I gravitate towards fun, interesting, fae, energy type decks. That's what I gravitate more towards. Which, if you've been around my channel for a while, you already know that. The next one, 7. What do you like in a deck? This one is harder, I guess. I like all sorts of things in decks. I like how they feel. I like the art on them. I like guidebooks. I enjoy guidebooks. I like it when there's a good guidebook. I like colors. I do like colors, like soft colors, sometimes bold colors. I definitely like feeling the energy of a deck and knowing that it's going to work for me. What do you dislike in a deck? Bad guidebooks. I don't like cards that are too big or super glossy. Oh, I'm so not a gloss fan. So not a gloss fan. I have really tiny hands. I have 4-year-old hands. I know that sounds awful, but it's the truth. When I get gloves, I get 4-year-old gloves, okay? But my hands are so tiny that most cards do not shuffle well for me. So I don't always lend that to a review or anything, but that is one thing that I dislike in decks is how big they are, especially Oracle. Oracle are so huge. I could barely even shuffle 90% of them. It's crazy. Okay, what do you not care about in a deck? Now, that goes with, how a deck feels. I don't care about card stock, not necessarily. I don't know what 3GM or 30 GMI or whatever. I don't know any of that. I don't know what linen stock is. I don't know any of that. Do I know how it feels on my skin? Yes, and that bothers me sometimes. Do I know how they shuffle? Yes, and that will bother me sometimes. But I don't actually care about the very specifics of like the weight of the cardstock, etc., etc. I don't care. I really don't. The box. Don't care about the box either. I mean, do I want a sturdy box? Sure. If they send it to me in a non-sturdy box, it's about the cards, not the box. Sorry. So that's pretty much where it is for me. So I wanted to thank Cody for doing this because I found it intriguing and interesting. And if you haven't seen her video, please do so. I will leave it down in the description. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a very great day.